Hi guys, TheF2PMaster's here with yet another review. Today I will be reviewing Psyops, a game that is very, very different than any other game I've seen thus far, and it's pretty old actually. The game was originally released as an Xbox game, but recently became free for us computer users. In the game you play as Nick Scryer, a psionic ability user that was memory wiped and thrown into this battle against this terrorist organization. And slowly but surely, you begin to regain your memories and your powers. And whenever you gain a power, you get this like flashback type deal that lets you learn how to use that power. The graphics here are pretty good. This game has a very cool physics system that works in tow with some of the game's psychic abilities. Only some textures are a little bit blurry, but for the most part, they're pretty crisp. The animations are well done, and the effects are pretty nice. Not as good as from next-gen games, but again, this is an old one, so what do you want? You know what I mean? The gameplay here is probably one of the most unique I've seen in ever. You have these stealth mechanics that work in the way along the lines of, say, Metal Gear Solid, where you can sneak around the terrorists and you can try and silently take them down. But you could also just, guns blazing and everything like that. But then again, you also have these incredible psychic abilities that just make the game so much fun to play. You can lift up objects and people and enemies and all kinds of stuff and throw them around as if they were a sack of potatoes. You can go ahead and like rip their minds apart, basically, so much so that their heads explode. And you could just do all kinds of crazy stuff like that, and it is very fun and very different and very refreshing. The way the game works is kind of like a puzzle solver. You might run into these situations where, as you'll see here, I'm trapped in a room full of gas that is about to kill me, and I have to find a way to break open the door, so you just have to figure out all these different puzzles, and it's very fun. The story is also very interesting. This is a single-player only game, which is a little bit of a downside, but that's alright considering of how interesting the story is. Basically, what happened is you are Nick Scryer, a guy who's able to use these crazy psychic abilities, and you were wiped of all of your memories for some reason, some unexplained reason, and thrown into this army where you fight against these terrorists. Now, what happens is, eventually along the way, you regain some of your memories, and you get these kind of like flashbacks in which you kind of relearn some of the skills that you've known previously. There are a lot of dark and gruesome parts in this game. It is pretty creepy actually, as you'll notice in this scene right here. That right there is one of Nick's squad mates who was captured and is being forcefully turned to the terrorist side. And Nick tries to, well, you'll see very shortly what happens. Yeah, that's pretty gruesome right there. His head just like exploded. So it's very, very dark, and it's very refreshing from your average, wannabe mature shooters. Uh, the only issue I can find really with this game is the fact that there's no multiplayer. if there was multiplayer, this game would be golden. I can really picture people picking each other up and throwing each other into different places and all kinds of fun stuff like that. But the lack of multiplayer doesn't take away from any of this game's score. Psyops gets a 5 out of 5, and my utter recommendation. I mean, I've recommended games to you before, but I really, really think you should give this one a try. Not even just for the unique gameplay, but just because it's so different and so fun to play, as opposed to your average Korean shooter, which I, for the most part, don't like. This has been yet another review by the TheF2PMaster. Hopefully you guys will have better luck at recovering your memories than I will, because it's pretty tough. Good day.